Smackdown continues to be the worst wrestling show of the week, and this show was no different. Still boring and bland as per usual. Nothing really happened on this show. SmackDown is just missable. SmackDown has been awful for a long time. I would say probably close to a year. It started going down a bad path, I would say, in the middle of last year. So basically it has been a year. I'd say about June or July of last year, SmackDown's been on a downward spiral. And it's just getting worse and worse as the weeks go on. There's really nothing to talk about on this show. There really isn't. Tiffany Stratton retaining, that's the right decision, and we knew that was going to happen anyway. We don't care about the Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes stuff. That's not important. They're still slowly but surely trying to feud the Miz and Carmelo, trying to get their feud going, but that's taking forever. It's like it's standing on ice. Like they're taking meat out of the freezer and just running some water over it, some warm water over it, and just leaving it there. That's what it feels like to me. But SmackDown just, in my opinion, it just flat out sucks. There's just no other way to say it. It just flat out sucks. Road Dogg needs to be let go. Triple H, same thing. Both of those guys need to be let go. SmackDown is just, at this point, it's damn near unwatchable. SmackDown is damn near unwatchable. I'm just being real, just stating the facts. Let's just go ahead and get into SmackDown from September the 26th, 2025. So we kicked this off with Paul Heyman. He wants to talk about the conspiracy theories about him, surrounding Brock Lesnar, and if they're in cahoots together. Cody basically shows up, gets a massive reaction. He wants to know the same thing. Is Paul Heyman a oracle, a wise man, or an advocate? Paul basically says that when Brock shows up, everybody's in danger. He says that Brock's not here tonight, so then the Brawns, they show up. Paul Heyman puts over Braun Breaker, saying that he's going to be a main eventer in the 2030s and 2040s of WWE. Like, Braun should be able to main event within the next 2 years. Like, come on. So Braun and Cody, they stare each other down. Cody then fights the Brawns for a brief moment. The Brawns beat down Cody for a brief moment. Randy shows up to make the save to a massive reaction. He RKO's Bronson Reed, and Cody Rhodes clotheslines Braun Breaker over the top rope. And the two teams stare each other down. They're probably going to do a tag match next week. Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton versus The Vision. Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. It's common sense. I don't really care about it, though. I really don't. Crown Jewel just seems like a filler show. That's just what it seems like. That's just what it has been under Triple H. And it's been like that under Vince as well. So it's kind of been the same, regardless of who's in control and in the driver's seat. But it is what it is. Moving on from this. So the Street Profits, they're backstage, get ready for their match. Who insist that any issues between them mean little compared to their mission of regaining the Tag Team Championships. Then this leads us into the first match of the night. The Street Profits defeat Melo and Miz. Match was pretty okay. Miz tagged himself in towards the end of the match once Carmelo Hayes was going to go for the Nothing But Net. Then Miz falls victim to the Frog Splash from the Heavens by Montez Ford. Post-match, the Wyatt Six, they're around the commentary table and everything, and they just stare down the Street Profits. I don't care about any of this. I don't want the Street Profits to break up because Angelo Dawkins would be directionless and Montez Ford would just be a mid-card act. That's all he would be. So he might be the U.S. champion. Maybe. That's it. Moving on from this. Well, before we move on, at least Miz and Melo, they're still continuing their little feud. It's taking forever. It's slow. It's like watching paint dry. But at least it's moving a little bit. But damn, can we at least get us to a match at Crown Jewel? Please, Triple H, get off your sorry ass and do something about it. Please. Damn. Moving on, this leads us into a backstage segment involving Jade Cargill, who looks to become the new women's world champion. So then Stephanie Baker shows up. She has to stare down with Jade Cargill. So we know where this is going. All right, moving on from that, this leads us into Julia and Kiana James. They defeated Mia Yim, a.k.a. Michin, and B-Fab. Who cares about this? Julia wins via the Northern Lights bomb. And then before that, she hit the Arrivederci. I don't give a shit about this. Julia is directionless. She's totally directionless. No opponent in sight. No feud for her in sight. She's just there just to be there. Damn. Moving on. So, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, they're backstage. They're confronted by Sol Ruka and Zarya. Forgot to mention the show was in Orlando. Booker T was on commentary, so he's pulling double duty. He's working on this show, and then he'll work on No Mercy. So he's, doing double duty this weekend. That's cool there. They want a shot at the titles. Charlotte insisted there's a line before telling Alexa Bliss that they need more, to be more of a tag team. So, the NXT duo, they promised to be in front of the line before they know it. I don't care about this because Zarya and Sol Ruka need to break up. And again, hopefully come No Mercy, that does happen. But the women's tag team championships are directionless as well. Like, there's no direction for them. There's not been any teams to really go after them outside of the Secret Service. There's no teams on Raw. You could put some teams together to go after them because you have to, because your women's roster on the men roster especially is extremely stacked. So there are teams that you could put together to go up against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. I'm talking about like low mid-card women who aren't doing anything, not main event women, right? So there is that. Moving on. So we didn't get a video package talking about the creation of the Crown Jewel Men and Women's Championships. So it's going to be AJ Styles versus John Cena at Crown Jewel, which is cool. So I do like that, but we all know why that was done. I'm hoping that if AJ does leave WWE, which he will, I'm hoping AJ Styles goes to TNA. I really am. I'm really banking on that. I think Styles ending his career in TNA would be chef's kiss, and that's what really needs to happen, for being honest. Moving on from that, so Drew McIntyre, he shows up. He gets on the mic. He said that he was screwed at WrestlePalooza, and he's tired of it. So Nick Aldis comes out. He tells McIntyre to stop making excuses. He's done it for a long time. He doesn't know where that boot came from because the WWE medical team didn't give him one. Drew says it might as well be the Cody Rhodes medical team. So Nick Aldis refuses to listen to Drew complain about corruption. Drew insisted he's a champion without a championship. So Jacob Fatu shows up, who's been gone for about 3-4 weeks, almost 5 weeks now. He shows up, gets a really good reaction. He started hearing McIntyre whine and complain and bitch and moan. Then Drew says, who the hell does he think he is? If he wasn't hurt right now. So Jacob Fatu says he's all gas, no brakes. Drew hits a Glasgow kiss. Then Fatu hits a super kick. he takes off the boot of from Drew McIntyre's foot. And then I thought he was going to go for a moonsault, but he didn't do anything. So I'm guessing they're setting up Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. That's cool. Sign me up for that. That's really good shit there. I'm down for that. Moving on. So Stephanie Vacker, she's backstage talking to Tiffany Stratton. She says that she'll be watching the main event. Then Sami Zayn is talking to Rey Fenix about the Open Challenge. And it can be anybody from Raw or SmackDown. Then we see in the background lurking, I think it's Shinsuke Nakamura. I think that's what it looked like. We haven't seen Nakamura in weeks, but this is the first time I've seen him. So, there's that. Maybe they're going to set up Sami Zayn and Nakamura, I guess. I don't really give a damn. Moving on from this. Let's lead us into Sol Sikoa. He has a video package. He gives Jason Mateo his proverbial flowers for his accolades and his loyalty being a part of Solo's family tree. Then Jeff Cobb says, "I love you, Solo." What the hell is this? Like, what is this? So Solo's MFTs have been gone for weeks, and now they're slowly but surely being reintroduced. This is bad storytelling. This makes no sense. Why were they gone in the first place? Why were they gone in the first place? I don't understand this. This is weird as fuck to me. This is weird. I do not understand this shit. Moving on. So this leads us into Sami Zayn's Open Challenge. It was answered by Javon Evans, who got a pretty decent little reaction. Josh Briggs was in the crowd. I'm surprised he didn't show up in this match. Match was very solid. Javon hit his OG cutter in the match, which was really good. Sami Zayn ended up winning via the haluva kick into the Blue Thunder Bomb for the 1-2-3, which is kind of weird. I don't know why Sami Zayn continues to use the Blue Thunder Bomb as a finish. That's more of a signature, I would think. That's something that should be a That's something that should be a signature move. It should not end matches, but it is what it is. It doesn't matter, though. Then Javon Evans and Sami Zayn, they dap up, and that was it. So that's pretty cool there. Again, I'm shocked that Josh Briggs didn't get involved and attack Javon Evans to get some more heat for his match before his match at No Mercy. So, there's that. But the match was fun. This was a really, fun match. I enjoyed it. Moving on from that. So we go backstage. Chelsea Green is trying to recruit Nia Jax to the Secret Service. Nia Jax then rips up the application. She walks away. Stephanie Vacker shows up again, letting Nia know that she'll be watching. Nia says she looks forward to standing across the ring from Stephanie when she becomes the new women's Crown Jewel champion. Whatever. All right, moving on from that. Kit Wilson, he shows up. He's playing the lunatic liberal gimmick, which is really cool. I do like that. He confronts Damien Priest about what he did to him last week. He trips over the wheelchair. Damien confronts him real quick. Aleister Black shows up from behind, hits a black mass, and then he says, this is going to continue until one of them is only left standing. And then he wishes Damien Priest a happy birthday, and then he walks off. Okay, that's cool. At least they're moving with this, finally. I'm guessing it's going to be a last man standing match. Either probably at the go-home show of Crown Jewel or maybe at Crown Jewel itself. That's kind of where I see this going. I think that makes the most sense. Once Aleister wins this, he needs to move on. I would put him maybe in the U.S. title picture, maybe have him be the one who dethrones Sami Zayn. I think that would be good. You have Aleister be a strong U.S. champion, obviously heel, but that would be good, because Sami Zayn shouldn't be U.S. champion long anyway. He should have a kind of a transitional reign. All right, let's lead us into the main event of the evening. Tiffany Stratton defeats Jade Cargill and Nia Jax to retain her Women's World Championship. Well, her WWE Women's Championship. Match was okay. toward the end of the match, Jade Cargill got busted open, which was nasty. Her hair was all on the way and stuff, but it was pretty cool to see that. Got a really good visual. There was a miscommunication towards the end of the match. Tiffany Stratton hit a missile. I mean, not a missile drop kick, but a running drop kick or whatever. She botched towards the end. Basically, she hit the BF. No, she hit the PME, the prettiest moonsault ever for the 1, 2, 3, and then that was it. Thankfully, Nia took the pin. I think it's time for Nia Jax to go back to, or go down to NXT for a while, at least a good 6-7 months. I think that would make perfect sense. And then Stephanie Baker shows up, and the two of them stare to the other down, and then that was it. That was the show. So SmackDown, for the most part, was boring and bland. I did like the Javon Evans and Sami Zayn match. That was fun. That was really good there. At least the Aleister Black Damien Priest feud is moving. Tiffany Stratton retaining is the right decision. I don't know who's going to win at Crown Jewel between her and Stephanie Baker. Don't know. I can't really think right now at this point in time who would win, really. I don't know. Maybe you do Stephanie. Maybe she goes over. Who's going to dethrone Tiffany? I have no idea. Again, Nia Jax should just go back to NXT for a while, at least a good 6 to 8 months. At least get her out of the damn title picture. The tag team division has no direction. It's just there just to be there. Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu, that should be cool. So maybe that will lead to a match at Crown Jewel. Hopefully Miz and Melo, they get to have their match at Crown Jewel as well. So we should have at least those 2 matches added on to the show. Division, Cody Rhodes, Randy stuff, that's fine too. Randy did look at the championship before he helped out Cody. Well, after he helped out Cody. So they're still telling that story. Randy should turn heel before the end of the year, either at Survivor Series or maybe at Saturday Night's Main Event in December. But we'll have to wait and see how things play out. Or maybe even at Crown Jewel. We'll have to wait and see how things play out. But what did you guys think of SmackDown? I thought it was boring as per usual. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.